Hello and welcome. In this video, I'll be sharing with you some of the key access keys you should know for data analysis. Understanding these basic keys will help you to become very good at analyzing data with Microsoft Excel. So, without wasting much of your time, let's go through the various access keys. The first one is table. You may think this is a table, but it is not. This is not a table. So the first thing I'm to do is to create a table for this data. And there are three ways you can create a table in Microsoft Excel. So you can use Ctrl T or Ctrl L, or you can click on the insert and click on table to create a table for your data. So let's create a table. Click on table, then we'll click on OK. So our table has been created, and you can see the various table styles from here. You can click on the one you want and get the, let's say, the design you want for your table. Now, why table? Okay, that's a very good question, and you may need to write some of the answers down just in case, maybe for interviews and or for your own personal use. Table unlocks additional properties. Table help you stay organized, and as you scroll down, your headers remain visible. You can see, so no matter how long your worksheet is, if you scroll down, you will always see your data, your headers being visible at the top. So this helps you stay organized when you are working on your data. And lastly, when a table is created, Excel automatically applies a specific formatting to it. So table enforces a formula to be consistent in a column or a row. Let me explain what that means, because it maybe is kind of hard for some of us to understand. So if I create a formula for a particular row, Excel or the table will enforce the formula to be consistent down the row. That's what it means. So let's create a, let's say I'm looking for the total score of the student. Let's create total. Now let's look for the total score for Alex John. To get the total score for Alex John, we need to sum up all these digits to get the total score. And to do that, we use equals to sum, open a bracket, then we select the numbers, you drag it, this is it, then you close the bracket, it's the enter button. You can see it right now. We only requested for the total score of Alex John, but the table automatically enforced the formula down the column to be consistent. So instead of us doing it manually, one after the other, table helps us automate the process. So that is just one benefit of table. So I would like you to master how to work with tables. It is very important. You need to master how to work with tables. So that just, so we can name our table. Let's name our table. Let's say raw data, because we have a lot of things to do with this data. Let's say raw data. Okay. So the next skill you need to learn is Power Query. Yeah, Power Query. So why Power Query? Well, data may not come clean to you. Yes, you'll be very lucky working with a data that is already clean. So you will need Power Query to clean your data and save you a lot of time. Yes, you need Power Query to clean your data and save you a lot of time. So how do you go with Power Query? You just click on data, then here is your Power Query. So with Power Query, you can get data from a workbook, maybe in your system or wherever. You can import data from a workbook, from the CSV file, from XML, from text, from folder. You can also import data from a server, from a SQL server database, Microsoft Access database, from Facebook, from other sources from the web. So you can also use Power Query to merge two worksheets into one. You can also use Power Query to append, and you can use Power Query to launch the Power Query editor. So let's export, or let's take this data into Power Query. To do that, you click from table, because our data, I already created a table for our data. So you will click from table to import this data into Power Query editor. Now, depending on the Excel version that you are using, you might see from table/range, or you might see from sheet. So depending on the Excel version you're using, I am using Excel 2016. So, but wherever you see there, just click from table/range, or from sheet, or from table. So we click from table, and this will import the data into Power Query editor. From there, we can transform our data to our desired taste. So it is loading, it will open, and it will load and open in Power Query editor. So this is our Power Query editor, and this is our data. So you can see it right now. Now we can start working on our data. So the first thing I want to do in this is I want this name to be consistent. Like, they are all in small letter. You can see them small letter. This one is in, the first word is in, the first letter is in capital letter, and that is how I want it. I want the first letter to be capital letter, while the others can be small letter. So, and I want it consistent for all the names. So to do that, I'm working with two rows. I click on, I will have to select the column, the column that I want to make the changes. So to select these two columns, you click on the first column, then you hold your control button and click on the other column that you want to work with. So when you do that, you right click, go to transform, and you can see we can change it to lowercase, uppercase, and capitalize each word. To trim means to remove extra spaces in between the names. So we want to capitalize each word. So we click on it, and automatically we have the name. This is how I want it to appear. Alright, so the next changes I would like to make again is, I want this name to be in one column. I want to combine this name into one. So I've done the first change. I want to combine the name into one. I want to merge these two names together. So I'll first select the two columns, then right click. So they're already selected. I'll right click and go to merge columns. Then click on merge columns. Alright, so it opens for us. So separator, okay, new column name, I want it to, since I'm changing it, I want to appear as full name. Full name. Okay, separator, let a space separate the two of them. Alright, so okay, now we have it. So you see, I have made the change. So merge the two names together as one in one column. So whatever you do here, it is being recorded in this box. So whatever changes you make here, it records in this box. So let's assume you made the change and you want to undo it. You can't use Ctrl Z in Power Query Editor. So to undo the change that you made, you just go here and click. So if I click this right now, it will take me back. You see it right now. That just it. So you can't Ctrl Z here or Ctrl Z. You can't do it here. Instead of, maybe you made a mistake, you want to go back, you just click on any of it and it takes you back to the previous change. So let's go back. Let's move forward. So merge columns. I want it to appear as full name. I want a space to separate the names. Alright, you can see it has registered here. Merge columns. So whatever changes I make from the beginning, it shows here. So I'm done with my transformation, and I just need to close it and take it back to Excel. Do I want to make any changes? No. They are clean. So depending on what you work with, if you can do it, you can do a lot of changes. Let me show you something. So let's assume I want to let's say change the rows to column and columns to row. I just want to split something. So you can right click, then you go to pivot other columns or pivot column, depending on which you want to do. Let's choose any of them. I just want to show you something. So you can see what we have here. So this is how you want your data to appear. You can also do it using the pivot other column. So we have the full names, the mass score. We just need to change the headers if that is what we want, but this is not what we want. So I just decided to shift this in just to help others. But I have a lot of video on Power Query, so you can go to my playlist, my data analysis with Microsoft Excel, and goes through any of my video that has Power Query. So I will drop some of the link in the description box. So I will drop the links of videos that I did with Power Query or working with Power Query in the description, so you can go there and work and watch the video. I also drop samples files so that you can play around, you can use it as your own to practice as your own to get yourself acquainted. So let's go back. So I'm done with transformation. I just need to click on home, then click on close and load. So this will take me back to Excel. So we'll have our clean data in Excel. So I forgot to say something. You don't, with Power Query, you don't need to memorize any formulas to transform or clean your data. No need for formula, no need for VBA code or whatever formula. So with Power Query, you just do your transformation easily, and so very nice. Power Query is a very powerful tool. So let's rename this our data. No more raw data again. It's not clean data. So let's call it clean data. Alright, so okay, so if we let's go back to the raw data. Here is our raw data. Now let's assume that we want to make any change here. Let's assume we'll make a change in this raw data. You don't need to start taking it down those whole process of taking it back to Power Query and start from the beginning again. No. So whatever changes that is made in this raw data, it automatically applies into this clean data. Yes, let me show you something. Let's assume we want to add this is total score, position. Let's say class position that we normally, yes, let's say class position. So let's say this one is 1, 2, and we have it here. So now we have added a new column to our worksheet. So we don't need to start going back to our clean sheet and start doing it again. No. All we need to do is to come to our clean sheet and refresh, and automatically that will appear here. You can see it right now. From 6 column it has shifted to 7 column. So that is one good thing you can see right now. Now this is a raw data. That's one good thing about Excel. So about Power Query rather. So you automatically, whatever changes you make here, we affect this one. It will be applied to this one. So if you make any change here and refresh this worksheet, it will appear here. Alright, so now with this beautifully clean data, I can produce a pivot table with it. So the next key that you have to learn is pivot table, and with this we can produce a pivot table with this clean data. So to do that, we just click on insert and we click on pivot table. Okay, so we'll click on OK. Alright, so now pivot table is like a summary of your data. So it gives like a summary, let's use the word, like a sum of whatever you're working with. So let's just pick random. Let's say full name. Okay, let's just pick 3 subject: maths, English, and let's say chemistry. Alright, so there you have it. You can see right now. So this is the pivot table: maths, English, chemistry, pivot table, give you the grand total of everything, just like a summary of your data, depending on what you want. So now we have a pivot table. This is a pivot table. We can also create a pivot chart with this data. So to do that, you can see it here. You click on analyze, or then you click on pivot chart. So we want to represent these numbers visually. So, and we can pick from a range of visual representation. We can use a pie chart, we can use bar charts, depending on the one that really fits this. So I think no, we can use this. No, these are not really good here. So let's, yeah, I like this one. So we go with cluster column. So here we have it. This is our cluster column. So this is our visual representation of these scores, of these exam scores here. This is the visual representation. Each colors represent each subject. You can see it right now. Some of, for maths we got the blue, this is English, and this is chemistry. So this is the total score of it. So you can also edit this pivot chart. Let's say you want to change this color, this one to, let's say, green. Click on the shape field, you click on green. Okay, so depending on what the color you want to use, if you want to change any of these colors, let's say black or whatever you want to use, let's check black. Okay, no, black is not that good. Yellow, okay, or let's leave it at the original color. Let's leave it the original color. So you can work on the pivot chart depending on what you want. You want chart title, okay, let's include that, and let's call it sorry, let's call it exam scores. Depending on what you want to name it, any name you will fit, you can feel you can name it. Let's say exam scores. Let's say exam scores. So that's just it about this. So these are the things you need to learn as a data analyst. So if you want to know master how to work with Excel, Microsoft Excel, these are the keys you must learn. Tables, how to work with tables, how to work with Power Query, how to work with pivot table and pivot chart. So you just play around, just create a data by yourself and create some and work on these things on your free time. So that's way you can be able to analyze data using Microsoft Excel. Let's see if I can work on this again. Let's see. Can I? Okay. Yeah, you can pick. You can choose from any of the design. You can see a lot of design you want to pick for. So depending on which one you need, you can pick from any of them. You can pick from any one you would like to choose. So that's just it. So thank you for your time. If you are new to this, please subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of videos for you. If becoming a data analyst is one of your goals for this year, I will advise that you subscribe to my channel and go through the past videos I've uploaded and educate yourself, get yourself acquainted with all things Excel. So that's just